When winning is the only option, the sharpest bettors in the world call me. Not because of what I know, but who I know. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. But talk is cheap, so let me show you. The Syndicate Insider Show starts now.
How's it feel to be up so early?
It's only 7:30 in Vegas.
It's only 7:30 in Vegas. You know, I went to bed like at, I don't know, 3 and woke up at 7. I was at the gym at 8:30 on Snapchat. Are you guys following me on Snapchat? Are you making it a December to remember? I want you to turn that down a little bit. Guys, I was going to do a video last night. I got too busy because, as you know, the alerts just keep coming. My major betting syndicates, what I've done is I've automated this process. If you've been following me on Snapchat and you keep hearing me talking about my auto trading, I'm auto trading my syndicate services. What that basically means is instead of getting on the phone and talking to this guy and talking to that guy and talking to this guy, why? When I can literally have embrace the technology of 2016 as opposed to trading like it's 2017. I'm just checking the audio settings, guys. 2017. And the bottom line is this. Yesterday, let's talk about the last couple days. Let me turn this camera here. We start on Thursday, December 1st. Cincinnati Bearcats in college basketball, plus 205, and plus the spread 4.5, winning outright 55-54. Winner. Then we go to the Miami Heat the same evening, plus 6.5, and on the money line, plus 230, winning outright 111-110. Winner. And then we go to Saturday, which was yesterday. Now, yesterday was a very interesting day. If you are an alert member, you got a portion of our plays. If you're a fund member, you got all of our plays. But we're going to talk about the outright winners, just because if we went through every game, you would be on this video between now and Sunday Night Football. And right now, it's very early in the morning, 7:30 Las Vegas time. Western Carolina. Step back a little bit, because you're that way. Western Carolina, plus 450 in college basketball, winning 58-53, plus 11 outright. Denver in college basketball, plus 350 against Weber State, winning 57-55 outright, plus 9.5. And Virginia Tech, plus 11, 35-42, losing the money line play at a smaller ratio, but covering the spread. Now, here's what we want to talk about. How does one come up with these money line dogs, and why would you play every dog on the money line? You don't play dogs with the attitude that they should cover but lose. You look for opportunities where the dog should be the favorite and win the game outright. But here's where I digress. You can't look for those opportunities unless your ego puts you in a position where you think you have an opinion and your opportunities or your opinion matters. The reality is this. You have no opinion. You're no different than the next guy and the next guy and the next guy and the next guy, which is why January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 11 months before the 12th month started, you thought, you liked, you felt about games. You thought, you felt, you liked games. How did it help you so far? Think about that, guys. As I take a sip of this morning coffee and I get up here on this chair to be the same height as Big Mike, you thought and you felt about games. I think about providing content to you when you watch these games. And each time I listen to him on the phone with clients, they compliment and they say, man, thanks for that winner, because I really liked it also. Thanks for that winner, because I really felt that was the right side of the game. Ask yourself going into 2017, are you looking for confirmation of your own bad opinion, or are you looking to actually make money? People keep claiming they want to make money in this business, but do they actually want to trade? As I lift this camera up and I pan, do you want to trade? Do you want to look at a bunch of screens all day? Or do you want to go to a sports bar and watch games and drink beer and get drunk and jump up and down like a 4-year-old? What do you want to do? Ask yourself that question. Because I don't see any TVs. You see any TVs?
I do not.
Okay. I see nothing but monitors supplying a data feed with information. Because information is the difference between winning and losing. Information is the difference between having the edge and not having the edge. Your ego keeps you from having the edge. Your ego keeps you from having an open mind. Your opinion keeps you from understanding that there's no place for emotion. Yesterday I had a client in the middle of the day, because if you look at a graph, it goes like this in a financial market or sports market, where games win, games lose, games win. Not understand percentage strength betting. Freaking out as games were playing in midstream. And then at the end of the day said, I'm sorry. Now, do you watch your stocks on the bottom of CNBC all day long or Fox News?
I don't.
Does it matter? No, it doesn't. What matters is the results. You make your New Year's resolution to be result-oriented, goal-oriented, and understand that we've had clients call here, like the other day with the Minnesota game, and he said, "Ah, man, what a great game. I really love the Minnesota game." And I said to the guy, "You loved the Minnesota game when I was here at halftime on the last video, and you're thanking me for having Minnesota plus the 3.5? We simply got lucky on that game."
Of course.
The guy ran down and scored a touchdown, didn't make the 2-point conversion. I was rooting for him not to make the 2-point conversion, because obviously if it goes into overtime, you could lose that game.
Right.
Bottom line is this. Understand that 5% of the games are going to be won on luck, 5% of the games are going to be lost on luck, and the other 90% of the games, the algorithms, the information, and the syndicates that I deal with are going to do their job. Understand that coming in from the outside, coming into the inside, means that when you break bread with me in less than 2 weeks on the Vegas Strip, and you sit down at my round table with my sources and my experts, and they talk about the glitches in the system, the glitches in the line, there's no mystery men. Guys like Kenny White that break down the line and provide us with the outlaw line, we explain to you why we do what we do and move on what we move on. The biggest bettors in the world deal with me for this very reason. Some people like to tell you the biggest bettors in the world deal with them. Some people like to brag that they have a great opinion and they're the biggest bettors in the world. Listen, guys, I know no more about these games than you do. For the last 11 months and 29 years before, my job has been to assemble the best experts in the business. Not no-name experts, not faceless experts, not mysterious experts, because the people that go to the crap table and took Vegas for millions and will get arrested for stepping into the Bellagio and had infomercials and documentaries made for them on the History Channel, like Dominic Larigio. When you Google him, he's the number 8th most feared gambler in the world. He applies his same math principles to Advantage Sports Betting. I have access to his information. People like Don Johnson that use his rebate advantage and his blackjack counting prowess at the blackjack ball to have an edge and bilk the casinos out of hundreds of millions of dollars, employ their same mathematicians that they would in that business, and took the casinos for hundreds of millions of dollars, now to sports betting. I have that advantage. They're not no-name, faceless people. People like Brian Blessing, who were the former announcer of the Buffalo Sabres, and have a radio show 5 days a week on 1400 AM in Las Vegas, and can break down any hockey game like a savant walking down the street in seconds. If you need a hockey winner, I have access to that information. So if you want to come in from the outside and you want to come into the inside and understand when a line on the NBA is put up. My guy, a former ex-NBA player, lives in San Jose, Costa Rica. You all who are clients have watched that video. I have access to that information. Now, hedge fund managers that run hundreds of millions of dollars on Wall Street and literally move the market in their respective fields, they employ the same technologies on a global basis, attacking the lines in soccer. And now are employing the same technologies when it comes to sports betting. I have access to that information. Why do they all seek me out as their representative? Why do they all look to be their mouthpiece? Because they know that I am not only selling them the product as the conduit, they're too busy to deal with you. And they know that we're not selling a short-term dream, we're selling the long-term prospect of you treating your betting as a business. So if you want to come in from the outside and you want to literally, as it says here, stop guessing and start winning, and you want to make it a December to remember instead of waking up this Sunday morning, and I know there's other guys that open up at 10 o'clock and close when the first game begins. We'll be here till halftime, in-game live trading, till halftime of the Sunday night game. Pick up the phone and call Big Mike here because, like I said, bottom line is this. It's too easy to win if you're not worried about what sport it is, if you don't care that you're getting basketball on a Saturday when there's a million football games. If you understand that the computer systems that we're working look for an edge, and that means get rid of the ego and look to win money. Bottom line is, there's a lot of games on the board today in the NFL. We know you're a fan. We know you love NFL. We love making you money. Anything you want to add this Sunday?
I think covered all the bases on all levels. Make it a December to remember.
Make it a December to remember.